Professor Hippocrates already mentioned about the ecology. He is a great professor on ecology. And in our master's level, we have two parts in mathematical biology. One is ecological part, which is very much associated with mathematical biology. And mainly, I teach the students in master's level the epidemiology or ecological and some production purpose, that is the management system, that is production of fire in there. Yesterday I have mentioned something that another. So, and what we teach to our students, that actually we have covered in our master's degree. Today, so he discussed about ecology. I tell about the epidemiology. Before going to this part, here we are the students and teacher and research scholars amalgamated here as because of to know how we can use mathematics in real life, considering or formulating mathematical model. This is our goal. We come here only, and what we are doing, that is we are the mathematician, especially mathematical biologists, and our target is to formulate the mathematical model, considering all eventuality in the real life system, and that's how we can build up the mathematical model. And after that, it's in-depth analysis how we will reach in an objective, and that objective will implement it in the society. This is our point. Am I right? So on that ground, my title of talk, Evolution of Mathematics in Human Life. Evolution of Mathematics in Human Life. A work at the crossroads. Because we are the students and the teachers, we are walking on the road, considering everything that should be revealed in terms of, right? Otherwise, if we do not do such type of mathematics, which would not be able to implement it to the society, our research will not be fulfilled. Am I right? So before going to my main discussion of our research, I will present something basic concept. Suppose I am asking you, how can we give the definition of differential equation? Do you know? How can we give the definition of a differential equation? Who can tell me? Who can tell me? How can we define the differential equation? Just I am telling you. A relation connecting with independent variables, dependent variables, along with differential coefficient is to be treated as differential equation. Now, this differential equation has been divided into more parts. Ordinary differential equation, partial differential equation, discrete differential equation, stochastic differential equation, fractional differential equation, total differential equation. Each and every part of this differential equation has their own meaning. Now, when we wish to formulate a mathematical model, in my case, I only consider generally the ordinary differential equation. Right? Now, what does it mean? How can we define the ordinary differential equation? A ordinary differential equation, such type of equation where a relation connecting with only one independent variable, more than dependent variable may be involved in that relation, Along with differential coefficients, the relation is to be treated as an ordinary differential. Make clear? Again, I am telling a relation connecting with all independent variables. More than dependent variable may be involved in that relation, along with differential coefficient. The relation is taken to be ordinary differential. Okay? Now, suppose how can another part of PFP I should mention here, that is linear. Do you know linear distribution? Do you know? Can you tell me? Linear equation. This is the basic concept. Good. When it is to be nonlinear? No. So now that linear term I am incorporating to a differential. So it is linear differential equation or linear ordinary differential equation. The equation Professor Fish, what he focused here, all that set of differential equation, ordinary differential equation, a set of nonlinear equations. Okay. Now the question is whether it is possible to solve that. A set of nonlinear differential equation, is it possible? If it is not possible, so how will we be able to solve that set of nonlinear differential? How we will solve it? Because Professor Cage has already shown that a set of differential equation, and that differential equation was a set of nonlinear set of differential. Now the question is most pertinent that whether we will be able to solve that nonlinear set of differential equation. Is it possible? Is it possible? No. We are unable to solve the set of nonlinear differential equation analysis. So what we will do, or what we can do, we try to make that set of nonlinear differential equation, make it linearized. Make it linearized. And then try to solve that equation, and ultimately we wish to reach in such a position that considering all that eventuality which we have formulated in our mathematical model, and we can say something better considering that situation, which has been declared in my consideration of nonlinear set of systems. Be clear? Clear? So, just I will give you a simple example. Just I will give you a simple example. Suppose the death rate of Kenyan population is, and birth rate of Kenyan population is P. The population which we are considering X. Right? So the rate of changes of that population, what will be the rate of changes of that population? Can you tell me? Again, I am telling. Suppose the death rate of Kenyan population is D. Okay? The birth rate of Kenyan population is D. Now Kenyan population I am considering as X. Okay? Right? So what will be the rate of changes of that population? Who will tell me? Yes? Yes. C equals X. Good. So rate of changes, that is Px Pt, this is equal to Px minus Px. Why Px minus Px? Why Px minus Px? Because suppose I am considering P minus D, this is equal to C, so we can write this P, right? So Px Pt, this is equal to P. Am I clear? Why we have considered Px minus Dx? Why we have not considered Px minus Dx? Why? Who will tell me? No? Anyone? From this side? Who will tell me? I have written rate of change. That means the population is changing with time, with respect to time. The population is changing with respect to time. Therefore, this is called rate of change of that population. Rate of population of which population? Any population. So that is why we have written dxd. Where the independent variable, which one is the independent variable? Huh? T. And the dependent variable? X. So x is changing with respect to time. X is changing with respect to time. Am I right? So dx dt equal to, we have written dx minus dx. Now the question is, why sir you have written dx minus dx? Why you have not written dx minus dx? What is the why the? What is the philosophy behind that? Yes. 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 P is in rate of change. That means the rate of what always greater than the rate of the pupil. Rate of the pupil is less than obviously the birth, right? Because if rate is higher, then the population is to be declined. Then population is to be declined. Since rate of birth rate is increasing, therefore our alien population is increasing. So that we have written dx minus x. Now, the question is dx dt, this is equal to cx. Now, my next question is whether we will be, first you have to tell me, this is a linear equation or nonlinear differential equation? Linear differential. It's okay? It's a linear differential. Now the question is whether we will be able to solve this. Obviously we will be able. All we know. All we know. Considering the separation of variables, we know we will be able to solve it. Right? And the result will be in this form. X equal to some constant suppose p into e to the power minus something. Am I right? If we solve it, you will get this type of result. Now the question is, our concept in mathematics and the dual situation regarding the Kenyan population, we have considered and making it in a mathematical term. And ultimately, we will be able to solve it. Right? Now, if we solve it, what next? What next? What next? What next? Because I am solving this equation and I am getting the results, x equal to some constant into e to the power something. Right? Now, from that result, whether we will be able to say something else, that which we are not able to solve this, Yes, yes, we are able. We are able to say something. How the population will move, how the population will be constant going on, and how the population is to be declined. That all questions, right? And will be answerable considering this equation and the solution of it. Am I clear? So, this is the mathematics which we can predict considering the real life. Now, in this lecture, I will tell you about the epidemiology. Before going to this part, so that's why I have given the name of my talk is the evolution of mathematics. Evolution of mathematics in human life. Our a walk at the crossroads. That means we are walking. That's why I have given this name. Okay. Now, what I will tell you? Introduction to the common topic on disease. Immune and autoimmune disease. Model building. How we will formulate the mathematical model. We will try to formulate a mathematical model. How we will formulate that mathematical model. Next, example. Obviously, Professor Bakari has told me yesterday that PP, when you give your lecture, if you give some examples or application considering that mathematical model, it will be better for us to realize the situation of our student. Right? That's why I will give some example. And the latest example. That means which we have published in recent within short term. And another part, I am not going to this part. This is the biodiesel production and methanol toxicity. Yesterday I have told methanol toxicity, so I will not go to this part. I don't know whether I will be able to deliver my lecture on biodiesel production, but these part examples, HIV, psoriasis, leishmaniasis, and so many diseases are there, which now I am involved. I try to tell about that disease and the model conclusion. Suppose when we are formulating a mathematical model, we are doing its analytical the parts and getting its results, and from that results, we try to give some predictions to the society or the research fraternity that what we have done. Your professor Bakari also doing the same things. So that I will try to tell. Right? That is the model conclusion. Now, our question is, how can we define creativity? Now our question is, first question, how can we define creativity? A disorder of structure or function in human, animal, or plant, especially one that produces specific symptom or that affects a specific location and is not simply a direct result of physical injury. Suppose I am going to the road. A trap. Trap to me. I have wounded. It is not a disease. Disease that means when a particle or may not be particle enter in our body, it may be infection or non-infection, or suppose Kenyan government thinking that these neighbor countries try to enter in Kenya, but the Kenyan neighbor country do not do this, then Indian government will have not to enter in the Indian demarcation, right? But Kenyan government has thought that some enemy entering in my country, he will react. Similarly, in our body, no foreign body particle entering in my body. I tell you, same type of entering our body, my body will be activated, and my body will try to kill that particle. But no particle has been entered in my body. This is called autoimmunity. This is called autoimmunity. But when a particle, foreign body particle, suppose HIV,
You know to me.
suppose
When you
the cause of the problem
is
is mycobacterium leprae. This is a bacteria. When it is entered in our body organism will be react. And that will function. The immune system will function. Protect that bacteria. Right? That function, when it is to be happening, the disease is occurred. That's why, and when the disease is be occurred in my body, that means our body's function is to be disordered. Our body's function is to be disordered. Not now I am, in my body is working now in an ordered way. I woke up in the morning, then I took some breakfast, I've taken my medicine. Professor Bakari has gone to my hotel, came back here, and I am taking my. It is the ordering system. But when it is to be disbalanced, that is to be disordered. In the same way, when the foreign body particle, it is to be entered in our body, our function will be dysfunction. Then that is dysfunction. That is called, we have mentioned here, disorder of the structure of function in a human, that is in our body. What is doing, what is working, that is to be revealed, to do the work. That is basically the answer comes from. Am I clear? Am I clear? Next, history of disease. Egyptian medicine, that is despite their lack of scientific knowledge, now the science is going on to solve any kind of problem. Trump going to Venezuela in the capital, Maduro, do you know Maduro? President, he was the president of Venezuela. Searched the building where Maduro was, captured him to fame. There, the science reached the people. During the Egyptian medicine, science was not used in this. So that, despite their lack of scientific knowledge, some of the treatment they used were effective and still used today. Like in our colloquial language, in my country, it is called Ayurvedic. It is called Ayurvedic. And that no chemicals, no other things is being attached with that. And Egyptians are recognized as the first to treat disease systematically. They have tried, during that time, they have tried that disease, making it recover this way. Yeah. Now, reached the teaching of Hippocrates. Hippocrates believed in the healing power of nature. The power of nature. That is the nature has a lot of nature make aqua, nature make that. So nature has a lot of. That's why Hippocrates believed in the healing power of nature and thought that disease developed from natural causes. Disease developed from natural causes. Hippocrates prescribed diets, rest, facial, massage, and baths as treatment. Hippocrates also approached to disease and research where the first steps on the way to the prevention and control of the disease. He has tried to make solve or prevent the disease, considering all these. Now, some terminology, just you have to keep it in your mind. Number one, infection. How can we define infection? Number two, contamination. Number three, infestation. Number four, contagious disease. Number five, epidemic. Number six, endemic. Number seven, endemic. Number seven, eight, eradication, elimination, reproductive rate of infection, host, vector, reservoir, reproductive rates of infection, host, and vector source. These and also reservoir. These also the very word which are very much associated making our mathematical model. Each and every term of this word, if we are unable to understand, we are unable to formulate a mathematical model. Therefore, we must have to know this. Now, infection. How can I define infection? Infection is the entry and development or multiplication of an infectious agent in the body of man or animal, and infection does not always causes illness. There are several levels of infections. Gradient of infection, that is colonization, subclinical, latent infection, and manifest or clinical infection. What does it mean? It means that silent. Keep your mobile in silent. So, when an agent enters your body, earlier I have mentioned that when an agent enters your body, I have a foreign body now. Agent that is foreign body now. This foreign body particle in the pandemic reaction is SARS-CoV-2. In the pandemic situation, when you think SARS-CoV-2, it is a agent, or you can say it is a foreign body particle. This foreign body particle, when enters in our body will simply be taken down. May not be taken down. Some other process may be raised during that cure. So when it causes breakdown, that is infection in egg. And this infection, apart from all other issues, this infection not step down in a particular condition. And because of, suppose we have knowledge during the pandemic that from all SARS-CoV-2 virus was detected in China, Wuhan, and that virus propagated various countries in the globe, right? So it is not to be colonized in a particular state. It is not to be colonized in a more than that state. It is globally can be happened. Contamination. How can we define contamination? The presence of an infectious agent on a body surface or in clothes, beddings, toys, surgical instruments, or dressings or other articles or substances including water or food. Yesterday, I have prepared my food at night. Okay? With the help of one of my life sister, he is the cook. She is the cook of that food. And after preparation, we have taken, when we are taking the food, I just have forgotten that I have not given. I have already used that. I, some of portion it was not fun. She told me, well, I can take from here. I have no. We just take in this because I have already taken it. Right? So keep maintaining this. That is the agent which is suppose I have an and that disease may be transferred to your body. So obviously don't do that. The surface may be erupted in different parts of the body. So always try to fix it. And contamination, due to the contamination, that disease may be entered or that agent may be entered, if this type of disease can be happening due to the contamination. Now pathogens can come from another person, like contaminated object, like this. Suppose I am taking pills or protocol. Already half of that I have to you, and I am giving to you. Okay? So, contaminated objects, animal bites. Professor Bakari repeatedly telling me, malaria, malaria, malaria. It is a vector-borne disease. That the mosquito, when the infected mosquito bite you, he will be infected. Again, another uninfected mosquito bite you. That mosquito will be infected. And again, when that mosquito, I am uninfected person, bite me, I live. So, disease, pathogens can come from mosquito, from the bacteria, so many animal bite and environment. Obviously, sometimes we are telling that our environment is polluted. That environment pollutes sound pollution and we consider. So avoid all these things, these are very much associated with disease. Now, when a pathogen enters the body, it works by damaging individual cells within the organism. In some cases, it attacks an entire body. In the pandemic situation, we have seen what we have seen. We have seen just when the SARS-CoV-2 enters in your body, if your immune system does not work properly, then SARS-CoV-2 entered killed of you and killed you. Right? So, pathogen, when pathogen enters the body, it works by damaging individual cells. When SARS-CoV-2 enters in my body, my cells is to be damaged within the organs, and in some cases, it attacks an entire body. We are in the time of SARS-CoV. Am I clear? Now, in infestation, it is a lodgement, development, and reproduction of arthropods on the surface of the body or in the clothing, as for example, leech. Leech mite. This term could not also be used to describe the invasion of the gut by parasitic worms, as for example, accessories. I think all you have understood this. This is the infestation. Now, contagious disease. Contagious disease is the one that is transmitted through contact. Example include topics trachoma, STD, and leprosy. Okay. So, contagious disease, this is basically the contagious disease. Host. Who is host? Host means a person or an animal that affords affords subsistence or lodgement to an infectious agent under natural condition. This type of host includes an obligate host, definitive host, intermediate host, and a transport host. Host, that means when mosquito, I am an infected person. Sometimes the infected mosquito attacked me, or I am an infected person and mosquito coming to bite me. The mosquito is to be infected. I am the basically infected host. Right? That has been mentioned here. This is the environment. This is basically the agent, and this agent comes to the host. The host to be, if the agent is infectious, obviously the host to be infected. Now, vector of infection. An insect or any living carrier that transports an infectious agent from an infected individual or its waste to a susceptible individual or its food or immediate surroundings, both biological and mechanical transmission are encountered. What is disease vector? Suppose what I have told you, that is like mosquito. Mosquito is basically the vector-borne disease. Also malaria. Result I have mentioned already. Now the terminology. Epidemiology or epidemic. What does it mean? Epi means upon. Demon means pupil. Epidemic. Epi means upon. Demos means pupil. The unusual occurrence in a community of disease, a specific health-related behavior, or other health-related event, clearly in excess of accepted occurrence. Epidemics can occur upon endemic states too. What does it mean? These are the same story. The foreign body particle enters in our body. What is immune system will be breakdown. To some extent, it is to be flourished in your immune system, and disease can be reflected. Any disease regarding the condition of infection agent and your body highly to be breakdown, that has been mentioned, is very much or being very much associated the word epidemic. Epi, that means upon, demos means that means the pupil. Now endemic, en, that means in. Demos, that means pupil. Endemic, that means pupil in. But clearly or literally, how can we describe it? It refers to the constant presence of a disease or infectious agent within a given geographic region or population group. It is the usual or expected frequency of disease within a population. Initially, the SARS-CoV-2 was surrounded by the China border, but later on, we have seen the virus has been transferred in different parts of the globe. Initially, it was Italy, later France, German, and lastly, in our neighbor country, we are the neighbor country in India. Now, on that condition, when it is spread out in different geographic regions, that means the pandemic and exotic and endemic usually affecting a large proportion of the population occurring over a wide geographic area, such as a section of a nation, the entire nation, initially it was U1 in SARS-CoV-2, the entire nation, later it was in total China, entire nation, a continent, later it was in the Asian continent or Asian subcontinent or the world. And lastly, the disease globally being spread out. So this was the pandemic, and this pandemic, different type it was covering. That this is like influenza pandemics and latest SARS-CoV-2. And exotic disease are those which are imported into a country in which they do not otherwise occur. As for example, rabies is the that rabies, I don't know about the Kenya, about the Nigeria, where the rabies is being occurred. So this is basically in a particular country. Eradication and elimination. I know you know everything about this. The termination of all transmission of infection by the extermination of the infectious agent through surveillance and containment. Eradication is an absolute process and all or none phenomenon restricted to transmission of infection from whole world. And the term elimination is sometimes used to describe eradication of a disease from a large geographic region, diseases which are amenable to elimination in the meantime are polio, measles, and diphtheria. All these are the eliminated diseases. Epidemiology. The study of the distribution, frequency, and determinant of health-related problems and disease in human population. This in turn basically we say the epidemiology to obtain, interpret and use health information to promote health and reduce disease. So all these issues that is very much associated with the health problems and the frequency, also the distribution of that disease in that particular population. It may be human, it may be in case of animal. And when it is happening, after that, if we get some results to prevent that, all these total issues are pointed, amalgamated, going to be terminated as epidemiology. Now, what is infection? A disease caused by organisms that enter the body and multiply within the human body. That is, as for example, HIV, as for example, SARS-CoV-2. These all are the infection. What is the non-infectious disease? Disease that are not transmitted by means of a pathogen due to the cause of since your foreign body particle is not entering in your body, but the disease have been through others, but disease has been occurred in your body, that disease is to be treated as the non-infectious disease. And this is the human immune system. And the immune system basically is a complex protection mechanism that functions by protecting the body from harmful microorganisms like bacteria, viruses, fungi, and parasites, and foreign materials, that is toxins and venoms, while recognizing and eliminating foreign pathogens. Just I am telling you that when a foreign body particle, I have told earlier also that when a foreign body particle entered in your body, our body system or immune system is to be activated. During that time, one organism secret or that is the cytotoxic T-Lymphocyte. And this cytotoxic T-Lymphocyte basically generated from the, that I will let you inform, that is the cytotoxic T-lymphocyte. That cytotoxic T-lymphocyte basically try to kill that foreign body part. This cytotoxic T-lymphocyte basically generated from the DC. And this DC will generate the cytotoxic lymphocyte, and this cytotoxic lymphocyte ultimately try to kill the foreign body particle. So that last sentence, while recognizing and eliminating foreign body pathogen, when the body immune system are unable to kill that foreign body particles or pathogens, different pathogens, then body is to be infected and it is to be revealed as a disease. Now, what is mathematical model? A mathematical description of a scenario or situation from the real world focuses on specific quantitative features of the scenario, ignores others. A simplification, abstraction, symbolically cartoon, involves hypothesis that can be tested against real data and verified if desired. Our purpose is to improve understanding of real world scenario, and ultimately our target is to clarify that all our understandings which we have considered to formulate the mathematical model, as for example classical motion, chemical kinetics, in that I have showed you, all these things are constraints to be considered in the formulation of the mathematical model that is to be considered as the mathematical model. Obviously, a flavor is to be incorporated during when you are formulating the mathematical model, that the scenario is to be revealed after doing everything which is always the societal benefit, which will always the societal benefit. Now the mathematical model. First, this is the identify the problem. Your first target is to identify the problem. What type of problem I am doing. Next, identifying existing knowledge. Let us try to understand how much knowledge I have. First, we have to try identify the problem. Next, about that problem, what type of knowledge you have. Next, formulation of the mathematical model. Now, considering all this knowledge, identifying the problem with your existing knowledge and your gathered knowledge, which you have gathered from different parts, from books, from any research work, other research work, which you have gathered. Considering all these, you try to formulate mathematical model, then try to solve it. Which mathematical tools you must have to use, that you have to try. That this type of tools I will try to solve this mathematical model. In my initial lecture, I have asked you a nonlinear, Professor Kesh has mentioned, I have shown you that the a set of nonlinear differential equation. Now the question is whether we will be able to solve this a non-linear set of that I have discussed with you. Now you find out the tools how you will solve this mathematical problem, and when we will solve it or you will solve it, then try to interpret it of that solution. Try to interpret that solution, and this interpretation will ultimately move forward to the comparison with the real world, that is the model validation, or else which you are getting the result. Obviously, that result must be validated with the real world situation. And lastly, agreement that means your target is the result which you have arrived or find out. I will make such a situation that all people, nobody will know about it. After this, I'll stop my lecture. Later, I'll free.